Okay, so now we're recording, and I'm going to share my screen. So the problem we're trying to solve here is we have a base DBT model that is not a looker view, and we want to make it a looker view so that you can create a looker explorer on top of it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so let's start with an issue. So here we're going to say create base true ups looker view. And explore. And I'm just going to assign it to me and then assign it to this milestone so it doesn't get lost. Great. So immediately from the issue, we want to create the merge request. And now we'll see that the branch is named 610 whatever. So when we go to gitlab.looker.com, and we turn on development mode, we'll want to navigate to that branch. So I'm going to switch branch to, oh, I created the issue in the wrong place. Okay. So I
do that all the time.
All the time. Move issue to looker.
Yeah, the good thing about GitLab is we can move issues to a different repo.
Thank goodness. So I'm just going to close this MR real fast and open a new one. Close. Closed. Okay, so here I'm going to create a merge request. And now it's called 300. So I just want to refresh this. And there's 300. So switch. And now when you're creating your first looker view from a base model, it actually makes it really easy for you to do that. You want to create view from table. And the model we're looking for is called Zora base true ups right here. And create views. And it's going to scan to kind of intuit what the different data types are, what the different columns are, and things like that. So it just takes a minute, but it does most of the heavy lifting for you, which is nice.
Is that a newer feature in Looker?
Mm-mm.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, it makes life way easier. And then, so what data, that table has like the subscription information and the account number, the Zora account number. What do you think you might need to join to that? Like, do you think you're going to want to see the Salesforce account number?
Yeah, I think at some point, it's not necessary right now, but like for future analysis, I think having the Salesforce account linked, or at least available to be able to join to like a Salesforce model or something like that would be super valuable, especially if we're going to do like segmentation on like true ups or something like that.
Yeah, this is why this is being slow. Let's try this again. Zora base true ups. Preview. This usually isn't this slow. So in the meantime, let me show you real fast gitlab.com/Meltano/looker. So the reason I asked is because we do have an existing explorer in the finance model that joins to Salesforce. So here you can see what that looks like. So what you'll want to do is create an explorer that basically follows this, but you'll want this to be base true ups and then join to Zora account. Here what we're doing is we have no field selected, so the end user actually doesn't see Zora account, and this will be a many-to-one relationship. And then you'll join, like you can join to SFDC account if you want, and that'll give you the account segmentation values if you want to follow this exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so now, here we go. This exists, and you can see it's pointing at the base model that we've already created. It has the values here, so I like to do a little reordering, but I like to do them in Sublime, so let's take a look at that. And move this to the right half and this to the left half. So the way I like to structure Looker files is IDs, and then dates, and then dimensions, and then measures. So
it's a good structure. I like that.
Yeah, makes it much easier to know where to look for things. So Zora account number. Actually, this is a dimension. Charge amount, charge name. These are dimensions. This is
charge amount would be a measure, right?
So if you want to be able to sum over it, you'll create a measure on top of the dimension. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So okay. Here we have the cohort month. This is the subscription cohort month. So I just want that to be explicitly labeled. And we don't need the, yeah, we do need the cohort quarter for calculations. No. I need to turn this off. So let's get rid of that. We'll put, let's actually add here. Dimensions for measures. So we'll put charge amount there, and we'll take MRR and also add it here. Service start is going to be a date. And is this a date value? Do you have that table open?
I don't. Yeah, I've got it open, but I don't see that in here. I don't know if that's for like the slug or something else, but it's not like a specific dimension that pulls up.
Let's see.
No, I take that back. Sorry. Service start date. It looks like the specific date on which the true up occurred.
Okay. So
we have true up month, and that month
is the essentially
month. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll say that. That's not true. No, it is. It is true. I'm looking at something different.
So if we look at, oops, I love these docs. Oh, I'm not looking at the right table. These trips. Service start date. We'll keep that as a date for now, with the like actual date option. So let's move it here to, oh, I already moved it. We'll keep the date.
And how is true up month, why have true up month when like that service start date, if you use like the dimension groups and Looker?
Yeah, it's for the analysis that we do downstream. Like when we look at MRR for everything from Zora, we aggregate on the month value. So in Looker, you might not need to do that, but because of the analysis that we do downstream, we do.
Okay.
So we'll keep the date, week, month, quarter, and year values for service start. Subscription name will go with here. Subscription name Slugify, and we can add labels to those in a minute. Move this date here. True up month We'll take out the top 3 keys. And then let's move this to the end. And now let's think for a second about the measures that are going to be needed here. So we'll probably want like a sum of charge amount and sum of MRR.
Yes.
So, okay, let me move these back here. And then we'll create new measures. So measure charge amount total is going to be type sum. SQL is charge amount. And we probably want to do the same for MRR. So MRR total type sum SQL MRR. Do you want like count distinct?
Yeah, I think it would be good to have count distinct. Let me think about that for a second.
So we could do a count distinct accounts and a count distinct
subscription.
This is the like best thing to count.
Okay.
So we'll
I think having I may not use both, but having them both there and not use it would be better than not having to redo this. So yeah, I think accounts and subscriptions would be good.
And then so the last thing I want to do, because you are probably going to want to join to other tables, we want to add like a primary key to this. So we'll do dimension primary key hidden. Nobody needs to see it. Yes. I was gonna say MRR month. And let's not add this right now because I need to validate some of my understandings on this, but needs primary key. This should work for now. I don't know off the top of my head that the combination that I think is the primary key is actually the primary key. So I want to double check that before we tell Looker that's the case.
Okay.
Let's think about this count really quickly. So this is going to give you just like a raw count of rows. Is that useful?
No, that's not useful for this scenario. I mean, I think it would be if I was trying to test out like the raw data, but already since that's already been done,
yeah,
not useful for this case.
So, and let's think about the drill fields really quickly. So,
yeah, so this I think having the drill field on the actual charge amount to where, like the way that I'm thinking about it is that like if we have an aggregate for each month of like that total charge amount, and then being able to drill into that charge amount to see.
Do you want to essentially see the account number? You want to see everything, right? Like the account number, subscription name, charge?
Yeah, I don't know if I need to see everything, but it just in my opinion of like analysis, I would prefer to have everything, like, or at least the possibility to be able to see everything.
Yeah.
So in this case, yeah, I think having all of the fields would be good.
And true up or the service start date. You think that's good? Account number, subscription name, charge amount, service start date.
I think in this case, probably not. Mainly for the fact that I'm
gonna make this.
Y'all have already created like the test, like and run the tests and stuff. So I don't think in this case, if I had to test something, or something looked off, maybe that would be useful. But
I mean, for drill down values.
Yeah, I don't think having that as the for drill down value would provide any value, because we can still look up the subscription name or the account name.
Oh, okay. So the reason I was thinking it would be is because if you do aggregate to make like a table, let's say you have a month and then like the true up amount, $100. I would think that you want to be able to click into the true up amount and see what makes up that $100. But maybe not.
Yeah, but could you not get that with like if we were to drill into the true up month? Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. The difference would be is rather than having the service start date, like once you drill into that true up month, like it just wouldn't be there. So you wouldn't be able to, like, I guess, see specifically on which day the true ups occurred.
Which is why I'm saying let's put that in the drill down.
Yeah, I think, I mean, for me, more data is better than not. I don't know if it will be useful, but it's better to have it than not have it.
And if it ends up noisy, we can take it out.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so there we go. And then let's do drill fields is going to be true up drill down. I'm going to add this to all of the measures. Is there any other measure you think you're going to need right now?
No, this is pretty basic right now. Just being able to like parse out like what the true ups are versus what the actual like MRR is. That's going to be super valuable.
Okay, so now this is not done. All of these need labels, especially charge amount and MRR. These need to be hidden, by the way. Especially charge amount and MRR need labels because people won't know what they are. Like I know that MRR is charge amount divided by 12, but someone who stumbles upon this won't. So this needs labels and descriptions and things like that. But just want to show you. So the reason I'm hiding these is because these are dimensions, which means they don't work the way people would expect them to. So we don't have dimensions visible. So save, validate.
So in 25 minutes, we went from a problem to opening up a issue, a merge request, adding the model here, and then
commit. Now we're
creating the merge request.
We're going to follow this existing Explorer. We'll go to finance. Let's put it with the, let's put it right under here. True ups. We'll call this true ups. And you can always edit that later. I don't want that. From Zora base true ups. from to true ups dot Zora account number. Account does FTC accounts. So let's add a one here for consistency. Save. Nope. I broke something. Oh, I think I have an extra closing quote somewhere. Open. Let's see if this close. This Explorer does. Okay, so open, open, close, and I need to close. Save. There we go. And now if we look at true ups, so let's say we want to see month. We want to see charge amount. We can run.
Yep, that's all. Yeah, charge amount is what we would. And then
you could click in to see.
Beautiful.
Is that what you had in mind?
Yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind.
Okay, so I'm going to validate.
And then somebody in finance may or may not, they have the option to be able to download that data set once they drill into the month and do some further analysis. Or we could go with the route of saying, okay, now that we have this model already built out, we could join it. Well, it's already joined to Salesforce, and we can start segmenting by sales segment or size or anything like that. So this is great.
Yes, that's exactly what we can do. So I'm pushing this commit. Great. Now the changes are here. The pipeline's running. The pipeline just tests the connection string is correct. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm gonna end the recording.